The world wants you to think that being an alpha is wrong, that it's toxic. The world wants you to think that being an alpha is douchey, like some big fucker, all tatted up, which I am.
Fucking Alphacon! We're fucking old bitches!
Yes, I don't recognize a lot of these men, but I bet they're alpha because they dress alpha.
But no one's ever done this before.
Guys who look like the managers of third-rate strip clubs trick a bunch of vulnerable people into paying them money to give them advice.
I don't want anyone here to feel like they're being sold something. I wanted to put this on to provide as much fucking value as I possibly can for every single one of you.
A lot of messages in there that people need to hear about becoming your best self, learning how to invest, learning how to truly become the greatest version of you. That's what an alpha meme is. That means you're top dog for who you are.
Well, are they wrestling? Are they fighting each other? Are we jousting? If this is Alphacon, I want to see some alpha shit.
You have to be some type of crazy to want to tie your brand name to this.
I don't think all men are trash.
It's okay. Go to war with it. Take it personal. Get pissed off a little.
And it seems to be kind of a hit. You're gonna have to ask them that, though.
Of course, there's a guy with a mohawk speaking.
Yeah, this event right here this actually happened. This was a real thing. People attended. Look, there's people. Apparently 150 people attended. You just mind your own business, and then next you know, who's there? Alphacon, bitch. A group of incredibly successful alphas were gonna come together in a crossover that would make Avengers Endgame look like some other film.
Look how good Morbius is.
Son, that's wonderful. I gotta go watch it now.
Utah's #1 realtor. They had the guy that founded Roofcon.
Who traveled the furthest? Anyone from overseas? Anybody?
And then they had this guy in a trucker hat. And if you had $97, you could have attended. What's that? You can't attend in person? Well, guess what? If you paid $497, you could watch online. Hold on. This is gonna sound really stupid, but when I heard Roofcon, I thought it was like a meme about alphas, like, sky's the limit, but we stand upon the roof. Anyway, it's actually just a fucking conference for people that do roofing. And then there's a Anyway, it's not important. Never mind. Let's move on.
What do you guys think about Roofcon so far?
I'm super impressed.
This is all well and good, but surely it's dangerous having all these alphas under one roof. How are we gonna get them together without them blowing up the stratosphere?
My name is the Bull. I am on a mission to help people become great.
Okay, this is Jeremiah the Bull Evans. He's got money, he works out wearing a bulletproof vest for some reason, and in his YouTube banner he has a PNG of a Lamborghini. Hoorah.
The word alpha threatens their way of life, and their way of life is complacent. Their way of life is satisfied with being average.
He does all the standard alpha stuff, he has a podcast, he makes vlogs, he goes on Twitter and spouts utter shite.
Your healthcare is not a right. If you were to eat healthy, if you were to exercise, if you were to live a healthy lifestyle, it's your problem that you're eating the fast food and all these other things.
But Mr. Bull, my child was born with an extremely rare blood disease. Can we have some healthcare? Tell him to lay off the burgers, fatty McFuck, I'm a bull. And obviously the masses agree. You fell off.
Everyone I know who's met you, even on my team, has said, that dude's the shit.
That means I'm acting like a total asshole.
Your wife leaves you.
I was in Vegas, bro. I was banging a lot of really beautiful women. I'm a lover, I'm a leader, I'm a lighthouse. I'm a lover so that my wife always craves me.
But God, dude, I love it. That's like a rampage of just gold right there.
Yeah, that you can't fuck with me, and even if you did, you will have to kill me before I get off what I'm doing.
Most dudes would say fuck her.
Both are getting more ass in a toilet seat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to hear that.
This is good. Thanks for coming on, brother.
It's an honor and a pleasure.
Keith Yackey here, founder and creator of MarriageGame.com, where I want to help teach you how to get your wife to actually want to have sex with you again, and you don't have to become a pussy or a pushover or any of that.
Essentially, a few years back, Keith's wife left him because he was this terrible workaholic husband. But he won her back, and if you use these lessons, you could do the very same. Penis. It's got to be, lock it in. Penis. Penis. Final answer. Penis.
The producer. And life changes.
My favourite thing about watching anything Keith does is that when he tells you about these things, it's never just like, we were struggling, but then we started to talk, and then we realised what we wanted was the same thing. And now we're connecting not just emotionally, physically.
We're doing it in the car.
We didn't have sex, but now we have sex in the car. Sex in the car sex. Not moving though, that would be dangerous. Stationary car sex, am I right?
And I'll share with you stories of my life, of how I've had to overcome this and how I had to learn this the hard way.
You walk outside, you see a guy and he's walking like this, you know for sure, he's sucking dick. But if you walk outside and you see this, he's sucking little boys' dicks.
I'm really fucking sorry. Can we just move it? Next slide, please? Yeah, sorry guys.
I hope that you're proud of what you believe in, and I hope that you can defend it. And I hope when someone asks you what you believe in, I hope that you answer loudly and proudly. And how men are no longer men. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. I don't think all men are trash.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. She's a conservative TV host who has like the personality of like an angry Facebook mum host. Yeah, just not really much to say. Why is this chair so big?
They changed the name of the Utah State Fair. It was called the Coca-Cola Utah State Fair for 16 years. They changed it to my energy drink for 2 years.
What's your energy drink called again?
Who's Your Daddy?
How in the world does that taste? Is it any good? You know, it ain't half bad. Which means it ain't half good either, but I can tell you what, it's worth 25 cents.
And so we'd make videos, and some of these videos with Bilzerian, we blew up an RV in the desert in Las Vegas. That video is what kind of put us on the map.
Just because you're a millionaire, do you have to do the saddest stuff possible? Like going out to the desert with a bunch of women in bikinis and blowing up a truck is like what you think is cool if you're 14 years old. It's just a little tragic, you know what I mean? Like, look at all these women in bikinis that are hanging out with me because I'm such a conversationalist. I'm just being an asshole, by the way. This guy, Dan, he seems like a lovely guy. He does a lot of charity work. Seems nice.
Bringing happiness to others through my playful soul and by being an example of living an extraordinary life.
Jimmy Rex here is Utah's #1 realtor, and every single morning he wakes up and he looks at a mood board he made to psych himself up. And sorry, I've just noticed the picture of the astronaut on his mood board. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you sell houses. You know, fucking don't give up on the moon, Jimmy. You can get there one day. If you sell enough houses, you can...
I came in with this mystery, not really knowing what this was. What is money is? What is this going to be like?
Who's in your entourage?
Bro, I went big today. I just wanted to bring up the biggest. You know, I do Kevin O'Leary, I do Gary Vee, I do Grant Cardone, but today I wanted the best of all time. I wanted my man Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump 2020. MAGA.
Okay, this guy's called Andrew Cordell, or AC as the cool people call him. And he is a walking cryptic riddle, and if you can figure out what the fuck he does with his life, I will give you some sort of reward. AC fitness, AC shoes, AC fucking book reviews, what is it?
Chris here has a famous quote. He wanted to give it to us, so I thought, dude, let's put it on camera. Don't just tell me, tell everybody.
The biggest problem is what people think they know that just ain't so. Stop taking advice from people that aren't living your perfect day in your dream. Find people that are doing it, and that's who you take your advice from.
This guy reminds me of like Incrediboy from The Incredibles. You know, the one that like really wants to be a fucking superhero and then he ends up becoming a villain because he's not a superhero. I can't wait for his villain arc when he realizes that he's not one of the alphas. He'll be like, what? I just wanted to be one of you guys. Please. I made this talk show.
I call the school system public indoctrination camp.
Yeah, for sure.
It really is such a methodical assembly line.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh my god, stop trying so hard. It's quite funny how common it is. Like, if you go on the websites of these alpha dudes, like trying to work out what they do for a living, you won't find it. All you find is like VO of them doing cool rich guy shit. I wonder what this Andrew Cordell here does for a living. Let's find out.
Toxic masculinity, you know, like big tatted up motherfuckers walking around, right? Which I am, I'm just saying, you know.
The organizer of the event, The Bull here, has uploaded some of his talks from Alphacon so that we don't have to pay $497 to see them, which is nice. And specifically his kind of like intro to Alphacon talk is just bananas. From $300 to 50 million, wow, I can't wait to learn all these lessons so I can get to 50 million. That seems attainable.
How many of you know someone who's gone through abuse? It's not that big a deal. Like,
all he does in this talk is he explains that he was bullied as a kid and his nickname comes from people calling him a fat bull. And then he tells a story about how his dad made him go beat the shit out of some kids.
I grab this motherfucker and I start beating the shit out of him right there on his front porch. Tried to run back inside, grabbed him again and kept beating the shit out of him with all the fucking rage that I had. I felt proud of myself. He said, son, I'm proud of you. Took me out to get a Wendy's Frosty. Because I love dogs. If you haven't seen my dogs, I love them to death. That there are kids out there. When I think there are kids out there literally being sold in sex slavery, sometimes babies. And guess what? That's happening on our watch. Evil is real. When you do nothing, you are nothing. Why won't any of you help me? No one is coming to save you. Thank you all so much. I love you guys.
And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, he's probably nervous. Well, fuck that, because this guy charges $15,000 for him to talk at your event. So I'd expect a bit more professionalism from him, to be honest.
You keep up here and live in your mind palace, this will become more of a reality than your actual reality is reality.
Okay, Alphacon to me is so fucking funny, and I want to explain why. The idea of going to an event called Alphacon and paying money for alpha guys to teach you how to be more alpha and get your business to be more alpha is really funny, like as a tweet. Like, surface level, it's so funny. If you actually dig any deeper, it's just not. It's just really boring. And yeah, Alphacon, it's funny, but like all these people online getting really bent out of shape and upset over Alpha. It's a business conference with a funny name. Like, get a hobby. Because like some of the speakers here seem genuine. And you know, even all the alpha bullshit and the bull here, like all their fucking like messaging is actually good. You know, it's ones of self-belief, motivation, you know, setting yourself goals, believing in yourself. All that shit's great. But it's not funny. And the sad thing is that all the good stuff in this event is completely shrouded this whole like private jet, Lamborghini, fucking jewellery, I fuck women type thing. You know what I mean? Like But the sad thing about that is that's the only reason this event got any traction in the first place, is because of that. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like, it just feels like to me a lot of this is like overcompensation, you know, like especially for the bull. Like, it seems like, you know, he was bullied, mocked, no one gave a fuck. He's grown up to be a millionaire and he has to flaunt it in front of everyone while trying to make it look like he's giving people advice when he's really just not. And you know, take that therapy reading with like a grain of fucking salt, because like I'm an idiot sat in front of a green screen right now. Like, I'm obviously fighting my own demons. So who knows, Mr. Bull, maybe we're bulls of a feather. Moo. I just think it's funny that these alphas seem to have like this weird misconception that we all make fun of them and take the piss because they're so successful and they're just so above us in the mind and we can't relate, so we just mock them to try bring them down. And that's not the case. The reason that we take the piss out of you and the reason that we make fun of you is because all of you seem to be so unaware of just how fucking cringe you are. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening to my talk here at SigmaCon. And remember to buy your tickets for Alphacon 2023, and I'll see you there. Night night, darling. Sweet dreams. Mwah.
No one is coming to save you.